Hey there, ladies. It's your friend here. And today we are diving into a very common yet not so simple situation. You missed your period while on the pill. So what gives? Let's talk about it. To start off, let's talk about how many people this happens to because it happens quite a lot. In fact, studies show that 23% of women who use oral contraceptive pills will experience at least one missed period in any given year. And out of those women, most of them will have more than one missed period per year. So definitely not uncommon at all. Before we dive into the details, I want to say that I'm not your doctor, and this is not medical advice. If you do have concerns or questions about your own specific situation, please speak with your healthcare provider. That being said, here are some possible explanations for why you might have missed your period while on the pill. First up, we have the most common reason, which is being late on taking your next pill. So when you're on a birth control pill, it's important to take it around the same time every day. This helps to keep the hormones at a steady level in your body, which makes it more effective and also helps to prevent you from missing periods. However, life gets in the way sometimes and you may forget to take your pill at the same time every day. If you're just a few hours late, it's probably not a big deal. But if you're more than 3 hours late, it can potentially affect your menstrual cycle. You see, birth control pills contain hormones that suppress ovulation. So if you haven't taken your pill within the first 3 hours of your usual time, there's still a chance that you could ovulate during that week, which means you could get pregnant. And then if you don't take your pill consistently after that, you may not release enough progesterone to support the pregnancy, leading to an early miscarriage. Although you may not have actually gotten pregnant, your body still goes through a mini cycle, preparing for a potential pregnancy, which could cause spotting or a very light period. Now, most doctors recommend only being up to 12 hours late for your pill. But remember, every person is different. So it really depends on the type of pill that you're on. So if you're worried about this, you can look at the instructions provided by your specific pill or you can contact your healthcare provider. Another thing to consider is the type of pill you're taking. There are different types of birth control pills with different ingredients and hormones. Some of them have lower doses of hormones, making them more likely to cause you to miss a period. The good news is that the majority of the time, if you miss a period on one cycle, you'll probably get it back the following month. However, if you continue to miss multiple periods, it's important to address it right away. I know this can be a little bit embarrassing to talk about, but it's important to prioritize your health and well-being. Moving on, did you know that stress can affect your period? Well, it's true. High levels of stress can impact your menstrual cycle and even lead to missing a period. When you're stressed, your body produces high levels of cortisol, which is the stress hormone. This cortisol tells your ovaries to slow down on producing the other hormones like estrogen and progesterone, which are needed to regulate your menstrual cycle. There are a bunch of different things that can cause stress, such as work, school, relationships, finances, or even major life changes. These stressors trigger the release of cortisol, which messes with the delicate balance of hormones needed for a regular menstrual cycle. As a result, your period might be late, or you might skip it altogether. If you think stress is affecting your period, it might help to try relaxation techniques like yoga, deep breathing exercises, or meditation. Now, it's also important to seek support from friends, family, or a therapist to help you manage your stress levels because chronic stress can have negative effects on your overall health. So it's important to find healthy ways to manage it. Next up is being underweight or having an eating disorder. Having a low body fat percentage can impact your menstrual cycle because it affects the production of the hormones needed to ovulate and regulate your period. For example, if you have an eating disorder like anorexia nervosa, which is characterized by an intense fear of gaining weight, you might severely restrict. Similarly, if you're extremely underweight without an eating disorder, your body may not have enough body fat to produce the necessary hormones for ovulation and menstruation. So both being underweight and eating disorders can affect your period by changing your body's hormonal balance. And this is typically reversible once you reach a healthy weight and your body fat percentage is within the normal range. Moving on, we have the fact that you got pregnant. Now, it's important to note that this is unlikely if you've been taking your pill correctly and consistently. However, no form of contraception is 100% effective except for abstinence. And it is possible to get pregnant even if you've been taking your pill the right way. If you think you might be pregnant, the best thing to do is to take a home pregnancy test. And then if the home pregnancy test comes back positive, it's time to schedule an appointment with your doctor. Alright, let's move on to the next reason, which is breastfeeding. Breastfeeding releases a hormone called prolactin, which can make it harder for your body to ovulate and regulate your period. Your menstrual cycle won't come back until your prolactin levels drop. And most of the time, they return to normal after you stop breastfeeding. Studies show that if you're breastfeeding on demand at least every 4 hours during the day and at least once at night, it can delay your period for up to 6 months after giving birth. However, it's important to note that not all women will experience amenorrhea or the absence of menstruation during this time. And if you do have a period while breastfeeding, it doesn't mean that you're ovulating or that your baby is not getting enough milk. So if you're breastfeeding and have questions about your period or your menstrual cycle, it's best to talk to your doctor. And since we're on the topic of breastfeeding, I should mention that certain medications used to pump milk can also cause you to miss your period. Always read the labels and speak to your doctor if you have any concerns. Now, let's talk about thyroid disorders. The thyroid gland produces hormones that control your metabolism and lots of other important functions. And if your thyroid isn't functioning properly, it can affect your menstrual cycle and cause you to miss a period. So for example, hypothyroidism, which is when your thyroid isn't making enough hormones, can slow down your metabolism and then delay puberty. This can lead to irregular periods or even stop your period altogether. Similarly, hyperthyroidism, which is when your thyroid is using too many hormones, can speed up your metabolism and then cause your periods to be more frequent. So if you have a thyroid disorder, working with your doctor to manage your symptoms and get your thyroid levels under control can often help to regulate your menstrual cycle again. Last but certainly not least, polycystic ovarian syndrome, PCOS, can cause you to miss your period. PCOS is a hormonal disorder that causes an imbalance of androgens, which are male sex hormones, and then leads to problems with ovulation and menstruation. Women with PCOS might have higher levels of testosterone and other androgens, which can prevent them from ovulating regularly. And skipping or missing periods is a common symptom of PCOS. If you think you might have PCOS, it's important to talk to your doctor and get a diagnosis. They can help you manage your symptoms and improve your chances of conceiving if you want to get pregnant. So there you have it, a deeper dive into a few reasons why you might miss your period while on the pill. Remember, it's not uncommon to experience this, but it's essential to understand the underlying causes and consult with your healthcare provider for personalized advice. If you found this video helpful, please hit the like button and subscribe for more informative videos. And if you have any questions or comments, feel free to leave them below. Until next time, stay informed and take care of yourself. Bye.